Good morning, afternoon, or evening from whenever or wherever you are watching this video from. I am Jack Adamas, back with my Premier League predictions, episode 26, game week 26. Let's get straight into it.
Gonna be a good day, a good vibe, ordering a little Postmates in my...
We start with the first of 3 games to be kicked off at 7:30 on Tuesday night, as we have Chelsea hosting Leeds. Chelsea boosted their chances of finishing in the top 4 this season by beating Wolves 3-1 away on the weekend, courtesy of a Cole Palmer hat-trick, and now Liam Rosenior returns to Stamford Bridge, where he looks to become the first Chelsea manager since 2018 and Maurizio Sarri to win their first 3 home games of charge of Chelsea. He will have to break the hoodoo this season though of a midweek game, as they haven't won any of their 3 previous midweek games this season. Leeds, after beating Nottingham Forest on the weekend, they look more and more likely like they will be playing in the Premier League again next season, as they now find themselves 6 points from safety, and they have only tasted defeat twice in their last 12 Premier League matches. One negative for them though, they are winless in their last 9 league away matches. And if Leeds do get the victory here, they'll become only the second newly promoted side in Premier League history to do the league double over Chelsea. Unfortunately for them, I don't think that will be the case though, as I can see Chelsea getting all 3 points in a 2-0 victory. Next up, we have Everton at home to Bournemouth. Everton extended their unbeaten run to 5 matches with victory over Fulham on Saturday, which now sees them have 2 wins and 3 draws in their last 5 games, which sees them move up to 5th in the form guide, and they know if they get another victory here, they could end this game week above local rivals Liverpool. But Bournemouth come here and they only sit 3 points behind Everton in the table, and that's also down to their form, where they have got 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5 matches, which sees them 3rd in the form table. So this is really a 50-50 game. If Bournemouth do keep a clean sheet though, it will be the first time they've kept back-to-back clean sheets away from home since 2023. But with David Moyes only losing 1 of the 10 matches he's taken charge against Bournemouth, winning 5 of those games, I think that will continue here in a shut-up shop 1-0 victory. Moving on, we have Tottenham at home to Newcastle. Both of these teams are struggling in the league this season, more so Spurs though, as they are winless in their last 7 league matches, and they have got 1 point less at this point than they did last season. Another defeat here would be disastrous for them, and it would really and truly see them get involved in that relegation scrap. Like I said, Newcastle are also struggling with 4 defeats and 1 draw in their last 5 games in all competitions, which includes their last 3 Premier League games where they've lost all 3. After that defeat to Brentford, Eddie Howe did do some self-reflection, and he did say that he isn't doing his job well enough, so I do believe that Newcastle will come here and they'll show some fighting spirit in this one. This is the longest Premier League history to never finish in a 0-0 scoreline. In the previous 61 meetings, we've never had a 0-0, so I've probably cursed it, and that will be the score come full time. But I do believe it will be a draw. I believe it'll be a high-scoring draw, though, and it will finish in a 2-2 draw. Staying in London, we have the 8:15 kickoff on Tuesday, which sees West Ham hosting Manchester United. The fight for survival is truly on at West Ham now, as they have won 3 of their last 4 Premier League fixtures, which now sees them just 3 points above the drop zone. So if they do get the win here and results go their way, they could end this game week outside of the drop zone. Michael Carrick has won 4 out of 4 since taking charge of Manchester United, and he's given himself a very good chance of getting the job on a permanent basis, as he now finds himself only 3 points off 3rd place Aston Villa. On a side note here, if Man United do win, the United Strand would get his wish, and Man United would win 5 games in a row, so he will be getting his haircut, which I believe he should get at halftime at Old Trafford. But this is going to be anything other than an easy game for Manchester United, as West Ham have won their last 3 home fixtures against Manchester United. It is their best run against them in the last 5 decades, but I do believe that will change this time round. I think Man United will have to fight hard for this one, but I can see them winning here in a 2-1 victory. Moving on now to Wednesday, where we start with the 7:30 kickoff, which sees Aston Villa at home to Brighton. Aston Villa's title charge has taken a massive hit lately, as they have only picked up 5 points out of a possible 15 in their last 5 matches. But it's not all doom and gloom for Villa though, as they do find themselves 8 points above Liverpool, who are in 6th place, so it does look like they'll be playing Champions League football again next season. I said it in my last video and I'll say it again, Brighton's form is really going under the radar, as they have only got 1 victory in their last 12 Premier League matches, which has seen them struggle and drop down to 14th in the table, as they do only find themselves now only 8 points above the relegation zone. And Villa will be trying to avoid losing 3 games in a row at home for the first time since November 2020, which I do believe they will do here, as I can see them winning here in a 2-0 victory, with Morgan Rogers getting on the score sheet. Next up, we have Crystal Palace at home to Burnley. Crystal Palace beat Brighton on Sunday, which ended their run of 12 games without a victory in all competitions, and now they're looking to get back-to-back victories, which could see them move into the top half of the table, and they will be confident on doing so, as they do have a 100% record against teams in the bottom three this season. Burnley look destined for the drop and that they will be playing in the Championship next season, as they now find themselves 11 points from safety, and things could go from bad for worse for them this week, as if they do not get a victory here, it'll be 17 games without a win, which will equal their worst ever run in their club's history, and that goes back to 1889-1890. Crystal Palace haven't lost a game against a team started in the bottom three at kickoff for 19 matches with 13 wins and 6 draws. I think that'll be 20 come full time, as I can see Crystal Palace getting a win here in a 2-0 victory. Next up, we have Man City at home to Fulham. City came from behind to beat Liverpool 2-1 on Sunday in a great game of football, which now means they've got 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5 games in all competitions, and midweek games are golden for City, as they are unbeaten in their last 55 games played in the midweek. Fulham currently sit bottom of the top half of the table, where they've lost 3 of their last 4 Premier League matches. They're away from home this game week as well, and they've lost their last 2 away games to injury time goals. And with Man City winning their last 16 Premier League head-to-heads against Fulham, which is the current longest run in English football, I believe that will continue to 17 here, as I can see Man City winning here in a 3-1 victory. Next, we travel to the City ground, where we have Nottingham Forest at home to Wolves. Forest's 4-game unbeaten run was ended on Friday night as they lost to relegation rivals Leeds in a 3-1 defeat, and that now means that leaves them only 3 points above the drop zone. And although they are playing Wolves here, they could struggle as they are winless in their last 4 games on home soil. Wolves come into this one and they have 8 points out of their 25 games this season, which is their worst return in their club's history, and they have lost 11 out of their 14 games away from home this season, which was the worst run they've had since the 03-04 season, which they ended up getting relegated in. But with Forest being winless in their last 9 home competitive matches against Wolves, surely that won't be 10 come full time, and I don't think it will, as I can see Forest winning here, in a 3-1 victory. Moving on at 8:15 on Wednesday, we have Sunderland at home to Liverpool. Sunderland lost 3-0 away to Arsenal on Saturday, which now means they've lost their last 3 away matches in a row. They now return to home soil though, where they are the only team still in the Premier League this season unbeaten, and that is also the best run of a newly promoted side since the 1977-78 season. Like I said already, Liverpool ended up losing to Man City on the weekend after they took the lead with only 16 minutes to go, with a worldie of a free kick by the suspended Szoboszlai in this one, and I don't know how they'll be kicking themselves that they lost that game, which now accumulated to them winning only 1 of their last 7 Premier League matches. Crazy me saying this, but this game really could go either way, but Liverpool are unbeaten in the last 11 head-to-heads between these two sides, and I do think they will be the first team to make Sunderland lose on home soil this season, as I can see Liverpool getting the victory here in a 2-1 win. And to round up game week 26, it is the London derby on Thursday night at 8 p.m. as Brentford host Arsenal. Brentford currently sits 7th in the Premier League table after winning both of their games in February so far. Their European aspirations are really and truly still on, and the fact they've only lost 2 of their last 12 home league matches, it isn't going to be an easy game for Arsenal, who took 1 step closer to the league title this season after beating Sunderland in a 3-0 victory on the weekend. They now find themselves 6 points clear of City in second, and they are unbeaten in their last 8 Premier League head-to-heads against Brentford after Brentford beat Arsenal to secure their first ever Premier League win. But with Arsenal only being beaten once in their last 20 League London away derbies, with 14 victories in that time, I do believe they will get another victory here in a boring 1-0 win for the Arsenal. Thank you very much if you are still here at the end of my video. I really do appreciate the love and support I've been getting from you guys. Please do continue to like, share, follow, but most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a good rest of the week, guys. And remember, if you don't shoot, you can't score. Bye, guys. Enjoy your week.